was correct, or?
Well, my issues were, again, just saying people were lost because they have entertainment and, and saying women were not right with God because they wouldn't wear dresses and skirts all the time. And that was so stupid to me. And just not living the way he lives and stuff and telling people they're not right with God because of that. And the whole interracial marriage never sat right with me either,
Yeah.
And it's just little things like that. Just telling people that they're not right with God because you have entertainment. That is so stupid. It's like, what are you going to do? Stare at a wall all day? I mean, you read the Bible 24/7.
What makes what he is doing godly? That would be my question. He is doing what he prefers to be doing. What's wrong with that? Nothing. Somebody else prefers to do something else. There you go.
Right. Right. It's just saying everybody out there is lost because they don't agree with us on certain things, I never agree with that. Saying people like David Daniels and, whoever else.
I thought he liked Chick Tracts. He doesn't like David Daniels anymore?
No.
I started watching David Daniels because he recommended him. When did that change?
David Daniels teaches the Trinity. That's why.
If you go up to Brian Denlinger's website, he has Chick Publications as one of his recommended sites.
Yep.
That's okay. So I guess maybe that's what you do is that what he does in a conversation? You catch him in a lie and he goes, well, if you look at my website over here, I see something else and I explain it perfectly. You call me some other time and I'll explain it. In the meantime, I'm going to say something else over here in my video.
Yeah.
No visitors and no refunds.
People like Greg Miller, Trinitarian.
Yeah. Everybody is a Trinitarian. I have never found a mainline person who is a non-Trinitarian. Apparently there is, the biggest one, of course, is going to be Pentecostals out there, but I've never found an actual big preacher that preaches modalism.
Mm-hmm. I haven't either.
And of course, Brian says that he does not teach modalism because he doesn't believe in different aspects of Christ. But, well, then how do you have God the Father talking to Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus,
I believe in a triune God, absolutely. And always
Sure. So I just don't understand his whole deal with that. I mean, not that that's a big issue, except for the fact, and here's the deal with what Brian, this is why, like, I'll bring him up on my channel, end up a lot, and people out there who are aware of guys like Ed Feniger out there will bring him up, is because Brian can say his nutty stuff, and I don't care. I might mention it in passing that, okay, there's some nuts out there who teach this, but Brian's followers are so hardcore and they question their salvation all the time that it needs to be brought up. Mm-hmm. I've talked to many people from Brian Denlinger's camp that are questioning salvation and some other things, and that's an issue because Brian Denlinger says if you believe in the Trinity, you cannot be saved.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay? He says all of these things. If you don't believe in works in the Old Testament, I guess I would assume you can't be saved. If you listen to rock music, you can't be saved. Anything that Brian does not personally do and you're doing it, you're not saved. Okay. He teaches the doctrine of you're lost unless I say that you're saved. That's what he teaches. And, that's almost criminal. You call yourself a Christian and you do crap like that. So that's kind of the point of showing here what we're doing as to who this guy is behind the scenes by the inside lieutenant. The lieutenant,
former
archbishop,
former archbishop lieutenant. How about that?
Yeah. So have you heard from this guy since?
No, I don't really care to.
Yeah.
And I mean, Tim and Lizzie or Tim's little wife keeps stalking our channels and social media all the time,
Yeah.
So, but what do you expect? And this Aaron Judge guy keeps stalking everybody as well, especially me. And it's that one of us, like, it wasn't just me that left. There was like probably at least 14 minutes that one of us, like, it wasn't just me that left. There was like,
yeah. So have you heard from this guy since?
No, I don't really care to.
Yeah.
And I mean, Tim and Lizzie or Tim's little wife keeps stalking our channels and social media all the time,
Yeah.
So, but what do you expect? And this Aaron Judge guy
behind the scenes by the inside lieutenant, the behind the scenes by the inside lieutenant, the lieutenant, Lieutenant Jeremy. Yeah. So have you heard from this guy since?
No, I don't really care to.
Yeah.
And I mean, Tim and Lizzie or Tim's little wife keeps stalking our channels and social media all the time,
Yeah.
So, but what do you expect? And this Aaron Judge guy keeps stalking everybody as well, especially me. And he's just going on all your channels and finding comments that one of us, like, it wasn't just me that left. There was like probably at least 14 or 15 of us that left Brian's cult when this whole thing happened.
I've talked to half a dozen of them.
So
they all flocked to Max, your worst enemy. Yeah. Yeah. So have you heard from this guy since?
No, I don't really care to.
Yeah.
And I mean, Tim and Lizzie or Tim's little wife keeps stalking our channels and social media all the time,
Yeah.
So, but what do you expect? And this Aaron Judge guy keeps stalking everybody as well, especially me. And he's just going on all your channels and finding comments that one of us, like, it wasn't just me that left. There was like probably at least 14 or 15 of us that left Brian's cult when this whole thing happened.
I've talked to half a dozen of them.
So
they all flocked to Max, your worst enemy. Yeah. Well, it's okay. We'll take them. We'll take them, Brian. Save a few more.
So, I mean, again, it's just, where was I going? About the lost people, whatever.
All the people, the people from there stalking you, and
yeah, that's right. Yeah, this little Aaron Judge guy doesn't even have a job or anything like that. And, he sits in his room, does absolutely nothing but make videos. And
he needs to your worst enemy. Yeah. Well, it's okay. We'll take them. We'll take them, Brian. Save a few more.
So, I mean, again, it's just, where was I going? About the lost people, whatever.
All the people, the people from there stalking you, and
yeah, that's right. Yeah, this little Aaron Judge guy doesn't even have a job or anything like that. And, he sits in his room, does absolutely nothing but make videos. And
he needs to start a ministry.
Yeah.
Somewhere out there in Maine.
And he's like a little 24-year-old kid or something like that. And it's just like, where do these kids come up nowadays and think that they can call everybody lost?
I don't know.
And they call people devils. No one is devils. We're all sinners.
Yeah, that guys like the JT does kind of impress me in a way that they're obviously smart kids, but it's like, you're like 20 years old. You're not going to out theologian a guy who's been doing it for 30 years or even 10 years. You're just not going to do it. And I don't care if you wrote a book. You need to listen to people who have way more time in this than you. And you should probably listen to more than one guy, right? Mm-hmm. One day JT is going to wake up and go, oh, crap. Can I still get this book and take it down off of Amazon? Maybe rewrite it, and unfortunately, that's where you're going to be, because you feel like crap when you find out. Something else? It was about that Scottish guy?
I just want to know more about that Scottish guy and Phil Newton and Tim.
Yeah, I don't know. The Scottish guy really isn't even worth bringing up. He's just he's kind of just a fool. I watched his 38-minute video and I'm like, he's another guy that I think is just young and listened to Brian Denlinger too long, or somebody like Brian Denlinger too long, and is real quick to to say they're lost and they're devils and they're going to hell and blah blah blah. He's real quick to that because they don't believe like he does. And I don't put much stock into it. And the guy's got like 70 subs, so I don't really care what the guy says. Honestly, I mean, it's nothing that I haven't heard before. It sounded like the crux of this guy's argument is effectively easy believers are devils. They're sending people to hell. And if you believe you can be saved without having a changed life, then you're a heretic and you're going to hell. That's the crux of the guy's argument.
Yeah.
That's not a new argument. A lot of people say that. And so there's really no point covering it. We already covered at the beginning of this stream as far as how the beliefs go.
I'll read Brian's comment he made 9 hours ago on Aaron's video testimony video. Brian says, "Great testimony, Brother Aaron. I love to hear how God saved a sinner from wickedness. It is amazing to look back and see how many times you could have died and gone to hell, but God has mercy, had enough grace to preserve your life until you came to the point of knowing you needed to be saved. Praise the Lord. As far as Jason Singling is concerned, he's going to hell and deserves to go. He's a liar and a deceiver. I don't believe one word of his mouth." Yeah, that's what he's saying about me.
So that is self-proclaimed Pastor Brian Denlinger out there proclaiming who is lost and who is saved. Right?
Yep. And he's saying you should consider it an honor to be attacked by that devil.
Yeah, that's